Now, from across the tri-states, this is KHQA Sports.
Well, once again, Palmyra's postseason path, the baseball glory, was blocked by a familiar nemesis in Hallsville, a squad that has thrice dashed the Panthers' hopes in cruel and unusual ways. That was coming into tonight. Palmyra already up 1-0 in this game, but here comes Hallsville behind Nathan Gett. Home run at this point, and suddenly we've got ourselves a really interesting ball game. Palmyra would answer back. They would answer the bell all night long. It's Aaron Stone putting Palmyra into the scoring column yet again, driving home Seth Brown and his bat of renown right there. Later, it is the aforementioned Mr. Brown with an RBI rip to score Brock Butler. This game was crazy. Alex Bross coming up with a perfect squeeze play just a bit later as Palmyra took a 4-2 lead in this ball game. However, Hallsville would rally to take a 5-4 lead. Palmyra would rally back to tie it up at 5 in extra innings. Palmyra's undoing a bad throw in the 9th inning, and Palmyra's phenomenal season comes to an end at 20-3 for the 4th straight time to Hallsville. 7-5 was your final. We do have some news on the opponent of note for Canton in tomorrow's quarterfinal game. It will be Lynn. That game will be set for 5 o'clock tomorrow, just south of Jefferson City. Canton and Lynn going at it at 5 o'clock for a berth in the state Final Four. Let's do some softball now. Quincy Notre Dame opening up regional play at home against Jacksonville, and it was all about Ashley Wensing on this day as she was absolutely baffled the Crimson hitters. In fact, no hitter for her. Already staked to a 3-0 lead thanks to a Kristen Gengenbacher home run. This time it's Mary Beth Hugenberg starting up the wheels of the offense yet again as she triples off the fence there. That sets up Ariel Gengenbacher, who's going to drive her home, make it 4-0 at that point. Q&D, though, not done with its assault. Peyton Oden into the act as well, driving home 2 more. Q&D up 6-0 at this point. Quincy Notre Dame wins in a rout. Final count in this one sees the Raiders victorious 10-0. They'll move into the championship game on Saturday, where they will take on the winner of Glenwood and Rochester. At last check, the IHSA had not updated that score. More softball now. West Hancock, Beardstown going at it. Top of the first, Allie DeWald, have yourself a day. Solo homer to open this game up. She was clearly seeing the softball very well today. More on that in just a second. Later in the frame, Lexi Dooley's turn. She would open up the top of the first as well with a triple, which would set the wheels in motion for Katie Schaefer. Katie Schaefer in her first 3 at-bats, 3 hits, including a pivotal one right here to drive home a run, make it 2-0. The Powerball, however, would continue in the short confines in Macomb. Morgan Davidsmeyer steps to the plate in the bottom of the first and answers with a solo home run of her own. That, my friends, would make it a 2-1 ball game, but from that point forward, all Titans. And again, in her next at bat, Allie DeWald going to hit another home run, 2 for 2. This one a 3-run jack, 4 RBIs in her first 2 at-bats. And then the very next hitter is Shelby Kaler, going to make it back-to-back jacks. Kaler also would add a grand slam later in this ball game. She had 2 homers as well. West Hancock leaves no doubt about it. They're hitting the ball and hitting it exceedingly well. They went over a good Beardstown team today. 12-1 was your final. Up next for them, a showdown with the winner of Brimfield and Sherrard, 2 very good teams. They'll meet tomorrow in Macomb. That game, that championship game, will take place on Saturday at 10 a.m. West Prairie trying to get it done, trying to come back tonight over in Leroy. They're trailing 3-1 in the 4th. Paige Webster, though, doing the deed, hitting one deep to right field. It clears the fielder's head. The RBI double would score Haley Runner, make it a 3-2 game at that point. Your next batter, and she would be your hero of this night, Jessica Herndon. Going to single right back up the spine. Webster heads home, and we're tied up at 3 apiece. It stayed that way through 8 full innings, largely because Courtney Campbell was flat dealing on the hill. Great stuff from her right there. And then in the bottom of the 9th, we've got heroics from the Cyclones as the Cinderella story continues, and it's clutch time for Herndon again. She gets the game-winning hit. West Prairie advances on into the championship game with a 4-3 victory. They'll play Illini Bluffs for the sectional title Saturday at 11 a.m. And there's that Illini Bluffs score that you needed as they win 8-3. Also want to pass along the fact that Carrollton upended Pawnee tonight. They will take on the winner of the big showdown tomorrow between Brown County and Central. Got some soccer for you tonight. Hannibal taking on an absolute buzzsaw in nationally respected St. Dominic. Early on, Caitlin Edge, though, doing her level best in between the pipes to try to keep this thing level. Unfortunately for her, tell you what, lots of great scoring opportunities in this one. Bree Johnson couldn't connect on this one. At the other end, though, St. Dominic had an early 4-0 lead, and they just kept building in this one. It's Sydney German making it 5-0 at this point. All St. Dominic. Great season for Hannibal, but they lose to a really good team. 6-0 was your final. More soccer now to pass along. Keokuk Fort Madison, crazy game, 32 seconds in. It's Michael Ingrata with the throw in. And right there, my friends, that is A.J. Swan putting a cranium on it and making it a 1-0 lead. Again, 32 seconds in. 4 minutes later, this time it's Cole Hinton banging one home, the first of two for him on the night. 2-0 Keokuk at that point, but Fort Madison with 3 unanswered in the first half to take the lead. Second half, though, Keokuk comes to life. First of all, beautiful stuff right here from Tavian Say, the one-timer to give his team an even playing field. Actually, that made it 4-3 in favor of Keokuk, and then Bryce Baxter is going to end it on a happy note for his team tonight. Final count in this one sees Keokuk advance on into the next round as they win 5-3. They'll go to Clear Creek Amana on Thursday, trying to continue their way, playing forward from this point on. Also want to mention that Chatham beat Rochester tonight in softball. That score just came in. 3-0 was your final, so Chatham will be the opponent coming up for Q&D softball on Saturday. Also want to pass along this. We do not yet have a final at Last Check. Holy Trinity and Central Lee in boys soccer playing tonight in the first round of the playoffs. They're in penalty kicks. Johnny Getz has not updated his Twitter site. Do that, Johnny Getz. We need a final score quickly. But as you can see, Central Lee and Holy Trinity all tied up in penalty kicks as we speak. Winner goes on. The loser sees their season come to an end. We'll update you on the website as soon as we have something.
The madness continues.
It does indeed. Busier tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, well, looking forward to it. Thanks, Chris. Final weather. Well, maybe you're not. Final weather after this.